Good evening. Celebrate. Tonight is a celebration. Welcome to the Quiet Noise IG Live series with Nikki Rochelle. I am your host, Illiona Okereke. This is our last night of this limited series because Nikki Rochelle's album is Quiet Noise is out right now on all streaming platforms. Check it out on Amazon, iTunes, Spotify, Tidal, YouTube Music, Pandora, CD Baby. You can check it out wherever music is streamed and purchased. Get your copy today. And don't forget to register for your free tickets to the release concert, Quiet Noise, the live exchange, this Saturday, November 18th at 5:30. Please come out and join us. We are so excited about this Quiet Noise. Please come out. We're right now. I'm having Nikki Rochelle come in and join us. She's letting us see her pantry yet
Always the
again.
pantry, always.
Yes.
And I had it turned around. I don't know.
Oh my
Oh my
goodness. Uh,
goodness.
Hi everybody.
Hey, hey,
I
hey.
see I see my peoples. Oh, we got Haitians in the house tonight.
Oh, ça passe.
Ah, yes. Look, you sound Haitian yourself.
Oh, come on, listen here. I've been around for a little bit.
You sure you have, for sure. Oh my goodness. So your album Quiet Noise dropped tonight or today. I'm sorry, today. Last night,
Today. Yeah, oh my
midnight.
gosh.
So how do you feel? What's going on with you?
I'm feeling all the feels, honestly. It's been in between my little one saying, "Mommy, I don't care about your music right now. I just want mommy." In between that and um, like having stolen moments, I'm so like I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I feel like that's the overall the largest feeling, and gratitude is like for so
Mm-hmm.
many reasons. Gratitude that I promise, like I know people talk about, like I almost gave up. I promise y'all, like this is this. There was postponements there, like that nobody really even heard much about. I just kept trying to move in silence and
Yeah,
trying to even process whether or not I could even do this right now.
right.
And so, yeah, I I'm grateful that like the joy of the Lord is indeed my strength. I'm grateful that I have been able to experience strength in the unity in the
Yeah.
community that God has given me and gifted me. I'm grateful for family beyond bloodlines, like people who have pulled up, whether it's to say, hey, let me help you and support you in this way, or even in the relationships that I've been so grateful to be able to build musically speaking. Because 4 years ago when this project dropped, everybody, I didn't prepare for half of my background singers moving to other states, uh, musicians and producers that moved to other states who were moving and changing careers and roles, which would not allow them to be here with me the way they have been through the years. So
And
it's
becoming
been,
pastors of different churches. Yeah,
listen,
all
like
the things.
the lists are endless, all the things. And so when you think about like planning for a party, right? And all the things that come up last minute that didn't even register until 2 hours before the party. Like, think about that
Yeah.
happening with each phase of this journey.
Okay.
Baby, I can't make this stuff up if I try. So, and then becoming a stay-at-home mom. So, like, I was feeling this vision, right? Like the vision that God has given me has, like, I said yes to God. Then I bought into the yes. And then I'm like doubling down on how to make all the things work. And oh no, you're staying at home to be with your daughter. And that was a planned thing. That was what we had always planned. But we didn't know when we were going to have, when we were going to grow our family. And that happened 6 months after the recording, So, and then the pandemic, and then bed rest. So it's just been so many things happening, right? Where it's like, no matter whatever you think you were going to do, like the plans, many are the plans of a man's heart, but it's the Lord's plans that prevail.
That prevails.
And I thank God that his plans prevailed, despite at times me saying, okay, I'm done with these plans. Like, we're just gonna burn that. We're gonna put that on a bonfire and say that was a nice idea.
Yeah.
I promise you. And so, yeah, gratitude, I think, overtakes everything, because there's so many reasons why I should not be here right now.
Yeah.
Why this should not have happened. But God.
Yeah. Well, I for one am grateful that you pushed through, right? There were many roadblocks, but you pushed through. And, that scripture actually says many are the plans of the man's heart, but it's the Lord's purpose that prevails. And so that his purpose,
yes.
his purpose
yes.
is still coming into fruition. Like your destiny, you're still fulfilling destiny, right? In this, right? And so, and his ways are not our ways, his thoughts are not our thoughts, right? But also, I mean, he should have added, his time is not our time.
Say that, okay? I mean, I guess there's somewhere, if you read between the lines and the fine print. Hey, Yummy, if you read between the lines and the fine print, when you read Ecclesiastes, that's essentially, you know what I mean? Like, there's a time for this, there's a time for that, but you don't know when that time is going to be.
we sure don't. Right, because he exists beyond time, and so you're thinking it's going to work this way or that way, but God has another way, and who knows? And especially through the series and talking to the people that we've interviewed, just hearing how much they're saying, like, wow, how much this song resonates with me, how much it blesses me. And so who knows if it's for such a time as this, right? That it's coming, it's coming out. People are more people are becoming introduced to Nikki Rochelle and your ministry. And so regardless of our time, his purpose is going to prevail, and it is prevailing. And so I'm so excited for you. I'm so happy that you pushed through and you kept going, even with the roadblocks. And so, you entitled this project Quiet Noise. And so, I'm like, for me, I'm just like, I just like the music. You could have called it anything you wanted. I was going to listen to it anyway. But, the oxymoron of quiet noise, just piqued my interest. Like, why this title? Can you share what inspired that?
So it's very interesting, because I don't even know, like, very early in, when this project started to become developed in my mind and in my heart, this title was always the title. It wasn't like something that came after the fact. As a matter of fact, Quiet Noise, that's on this project that y'all have heard, was like, I feel like I want to try to give an iteration, but I really don't need, like, just for the sake of being able to help unpack it a little bit. But the title, it stuck as soon as it hit. And it's really like this dichotomy between, I don't even know the specific passage, but like, I think about this scripture, and this is not where it came from, but the passage in the Bible that talks about when Elijah was, he was really, like, kind of waiting to hear from God for next steps, but he really was kind of like not really trying to hear God at the same time. Yeah.
Isn't that us?
Isn't that us? And the Bible says that there was a windstorm, and God was not in it. There was like fire, like that broke out. God was not in the fire. There was something else that happened. He wasn't in those things. And then it says, and then God spoke to him in a still small voice and said,
Mm-hmm.
"Yo, Elijah, what's up?" And he knew that, and that's when, and he ripped his clothes and was basically like, in acknowledgement that this is you, I know this is you. And I think it's so funny because a lot of times we look for God in a certain, like, we look for him in a tambourine. You know what I'm saying? We look for him in certain moments. And I think that this has been a recurring conversation throughout these discussions. Like, God is not a one trick pony.
Right.
And neither are our circumstances. Like, he can get our attention by just saying, "Hey, I've always been with you." And he can
Mm-hmm.
get our attention by allowing all hell to break loose. And so it's in those, and so it's also kind of like an encouragement to listen, right? To lean into, like, and a reminder for myself as well as everyone else, that we would pay attention, like, be mindful to hear him in a large crowd, just as much as we're
Yeah.
mindful to hear him when we are struggling to settle our spirits. And that's probably me more than the former is. Like, when it gets quiet, I feel restless.
Yeah.
But it's so important to practice those disciplines to sit with God until he comes, right? And to look for him in all of the things, right? Becoming, this wasn't my journey, my experience when this project began as a mom, right? But I've learned even in this that it's about meeting with God and experiencing him in the loaded, expect the full bodied experience just as much as the mundane, right?
Yeah.
Like, when you're folding laundry, that God can speak and that you can speak to him. Like, I always felt like I don't know how this is supposed to work when I transitioned into motherhood, because there were so many demands for my attention. And I think that that's the
Mm-hmm.
reality for so many of us, for different reasons: our jobs, our families, our relationships, our marriages, our children, like, striving to do the next thing, right? There's so much noise. And God spoke in a still small voice. And he can
Yeah.
also holler too. He can bang pots and pans too, if that's what you need. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, that was the heart and the framework for me. Um, yeah, and so I guess eventually, when I was able to collect myself and just process this, like, the words that came to me were quiet noise, be still my soul, quiet
Mm-hmm.
noise, you're in control, like, in it all.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's kind of like the meat behind my thought process with quiet noise. Yeah.
Yeah. That's very powerful. And um like you said, God can speak in so many ways. In the quiet noise, with the loud banging, rumbling, He can speak in all of those ways. But when you think about what Elijah was going through, running from Jezebel, running for his life, in a depressed state, you could even say he was suicidal, because he's like, man, I wish I wasn't, I was even here on earth. And it's like, at that point, he didn't need a reprimand, right? Although, in some ways, you think about it, he probably deserved a reprimand, because God needs you to do something, but you're running in the opposite direction, right? Um, but he needed a reprieve. Like, he needed to collect himself, to together, even after that height of ministry, you would say. Like, he performed this high act,
Yeah.
but he still had more to do. And what he needed was the still small voice, that gentle reminder, that hug, and that was what God gave to him, as opposed to a kick, right? And because sometimes we need the kick, and then sometimes we need the hug, and God knows what to give us in the time that we need it. And so
Yeah.
here again, the theme of time, right?
And
So
even like when you were talking about him, like him ministering to him in a way that was gentle, it
hmm
just makes me think about, listen, we both got toddlers, and like how crazy they can get, right? And how crazy we can get. And there's
that
this
part,
notion of, how we were raised, and, a lot of us were raised with a very firm, approach. And there's something to be said, like, and I've been seeing so many like breakdowns in terms of like what it is for the psyche, like when you bring a child into, what I'm saying, your bosom, like you're holding them, you're calming yourself, or you've already been, calmed yourself beforehand, and you bring them in, and you're just reminding them, I'm here.
yeah,
You're crazy right now, but we're not acknowledging the crazy. We're just acknowledging that presence is necessary for you.
yeah,
And baby, yeah. Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
Which I
Merciful and grace.
right. Right. And it is, as parents, I feel like sometimes that's very, very hard to do, to shift gears, right? Because it's very
To match
easy to parent the way that
energy.
you were parent. Yeah, to
That's
parent the way you were
true.
parented, and to match energy. That's the easiest thing to do.
Take walk.
But to do the opposite, which is very, very necessary and needed in the moment, that requires a lot. Because I know sometimes when I have actually done that, I'm like, "Ooh, I need to breathe." Like that was a lot, because that was work to do the opposite of what
You're
I've been taught to
experiencing
do, and what
also.
yeah, right,
Mhm.
exactly. But God just He just does it
Every time
effortlessly.
he meets us, y'all,
Yeah,
he be meeting us. Like I could get the wham bam, you know what I'm saying? I could be shut down every time and would
yeah.
deserve it. But like by his loving kindness, he drove us.
Mm. Yes. 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 Well, we have Brian. I think he's here. I'm going to invite him on so we can talk a little bit more. I did see Lady Vaughn come, but then I think she left. But oh, Brian.
Hi,
Hello.
Brian.
You see me? There you go.
Yes.
Light. All right.
What's going
Yes.
on,
Hello,
baby?
hello. What's going on?
Oh man, a
Been
whole lot.
forever. I
It's
see.
been
I see.
forever.
Absolutely. Oh man, I'm sitting here just enjoying this conversation. Feel like I'm in Bible study, but I love it. I love it. I love it.
Well, let's switch gears a little bit. Brian, tell us what you like. What was your first Nikki Rochelle experience that you can remember, whether on stage, off stage?
Man.
Yeah,
Uh,
I don't even.
high school?
Okay. Yes,
Choir?
please share
Choir?
with us. High school Nikki. Hmm.
No, she was super cool. All I know is
Okay.
this girl can really sing. Her sister
Mm-hmm.
can really sing. Then I heard her sisters, all three of them. They were amazing. So that was my introduction to them. Um, but later on, just hearing her sing in church and stuff at different events and leading worship and things like that. I noticed that I was like, okay, she isn't that cookie cutter like worship leader.
Mm-hmm.
Here, worship leader, try on worship leader. It wasn't like a one suit person. It was just
Yeah.
like her own authentic self. And it was really
Yeah.
organic. And that was one thing I've always appreciated about her. Like
Yeah.
she just did her. And it wasn't like where she was trying to show off or anything. It was just her voice. And I think that stood out to me first. It stood out to me. And then, you know, over time, still seeing her out singing and everything and being able to uh actually play behind her with her
Yeah.
asking me, look, can I get a band together? Can you get a band together for me? Or can you play for me? Whatever the case. I was excited because, you know, there's plenty of people that sing and do whatever, but like I said, that authentic, organic voice, like
Yeah.
they're really hard to come by, especially like being a musician. Like I play for 20 people that sound the same. You know what I'm saying? But have something different, have something that's really sincere
Yeah.
and their delivery and their approach, and even like just their whole focus and their goal
Yeah.
when they're singing. It's like this is authentic. So I'm like, absolutely. And she's different, on a skillful level. She's incredible. And it's like, okay, let's do this. Whatever you need, I'm behind. You can pay me? Okay, cool. You can't? Okay, cool. Let's work. Let's go. So everyone doesn't get that. Some people you gotta pay. You gotta pay. I'm sorry. But with Nikki, it didn't matter. And it's not that she never paid me. No, I'm not putting that out. It wasn't anything like that, but it was just I was invested. So
Right.
I was ready for her. I was ready for her. Whatever she needed, I was there. Yeah.
What growth, if any, have you noticed in her ministry vocally from high school to now?
So in high school, I think I really didn't like notice her like I guess her what's the word I'm looking for? I'm sorry. Uh just her confidence the same as
Mhm.
before.
It's true.
The confidence wasn't there, so it wasn't when I did hear, it was like, why are you holding that in? Like, and then hearing her with her sisters later, it was like, what are you doing? Like, come on, let's go. What do you need me to do? And then it was just like, okay, what do you need me to do? I'm here. So that was the main thing for me, just noticing her confidence from initially meeting her. So then
It's true.
even like playing with her and playing for her and just doing different engagements and everything, just seeing how she interacts and how with crowds and with congregations or whatever, wherever we were at.
Yeah.
Like I said before, she was the same. Like, and she gave her best, whether it wasn't a few people there or whether it was packed and we're sweating. You know, she gave it her all, and it was heartfelt. It was heartfelt. So, like I said, from that initial meeting to like even now, just that confidence and like who she is, and like being comfortable. Like this is me. This is Nikki. So I'm gonna give the world Nikki, and you can see it. Well, I saw it in her progression. So.
Yeah. So when you hear that, Nakia, what kind of like brought that confidence back, or what was holding you back? Actually, what do you think might have been holding you back?
Oh. Um, well, for one, my sisters were absolutely crutches for
Mm,
as long as I could allow them to be.
mm,
I remember, so we went through school together up until middle school. I was only in the same school with my oldest sister for maybe
mm,
like 2 years, um, as we were singing. And then by the time we got to junior three, I don't know if you know this, B, but I was under the tutelage of Craig Hayes because he
absolutely.
was he was a music teacher,
Yeah.
and that was the
Junior three.
best
Yep.
person to be under.
Absolutely.
But by the time I got there, I was not given a name. I was coined as Little Holloman because
Oh man.
it was Dana,
Yeah.
it was Alicia,
Hmm.
and then it was, oh, there's another one. Hey, Little
Uh-huh.
Holloman. So that's who I was,
Mhm,
and I kind of was okay with staying in the shadow.
mhm,
When Alicia left, I knew that I wanted to turn that corner. I didn't want to be the deer in headlights, and I promise you, I literally looked mortified when I was singing when I was younger. I
mhm,
enjoyed singing,
mhm,
but I was just like, I can't do stages, like, you know what I mean, like,
mhm,
and so it was kind of like either go big or go home. What you gonna
mhm,
do? And so we had, tryouts for a song, and at the time it was "Lean on Me" was all the
mhm,
rave by
mhm,
Kirk Franklin, and nobody else was there, like
mhm.
neither of my siblings. So I tried out, and I didn't take one part. I took all four parts songs. Um, me right now. He know I'm live. What's happening? Sorry, heavy. But yeah, so and I was still afraid. Like, you know, I think I wore a choir robe for this production we did. My knees were not okay. So I had to like really start owning Do It Afraid then, even if I was, just because I didn't want to stay like stuck. Yeah. So but
Mm,
it's taking time.
okay. So they were a crutch, but you know, looking at when you three sing individually or even together now, it's like magic. I love hearing you guys apart, and then when you guys come together too, it's like it's just a different kind of magic. I'm like, this is just all the rage. So, you know, we're excited about Quiet Noise, but if Holloman's sister album come out too, or
Hey, give me
EP, you know, it don't
give
even
me
have
a
to be a whole
call.
album, just an EP,
Call.
you know?
Yeah.
Oh,
Let me know. Let me know.
Paul B.
We work it out. We
Okay,
Look,
work
you
it out.
already got a
I got you.
We
musician.
already work it. We work it out. We'll make it.
Producer and musician. Okay.
Oh.
Oh, excuse me. I stand corrected. All right. That is awesome. Okay. So, Brian, back to you.
Mhm.
So, you've heard Quiet Noise, and so
Mhm.
I kind of want to hear your review. What do you think about it? What might be your favorite song if you have one?
Oh
What do you
man.
think about it?
Oh well, like just again, like I'm I'm overjoyed with just like the authenticity of it. Like you can hear it. Like even hearing it before it came out, you know, unmixed and all of that, it was it was where it needed to be already. Like mixing and things like that, you know, post production things. Yeah, you need those. But from the from the beginning, just hearing it alone, without any additives or anything else, the authenticity of it. I love it. I love you can hear the heart of it. Um, as far as favorite song, I don't have one favorite. Like Lay on You, I love that. I love Lay on You. Of course, like Mr. and Mrs. I like I'm a fan, even though like I've been apart. Like I'm a
Mhm.
fan. Like I listen to the song. I've listened to the songs before without having to perform them or to have a show. It'd be like in the car. Let's put on Nikki for on shuffle and go through it. All the albums. Um,
Hmm.
I fell in love with No Shame. Um, when
Can
Nikki let me hear it.
can you can you share more about that?
No, I did. I fell in love with this song when she let me hear like the rough version of it with a friend of mine, Richard Tubb Smith, incredible musician, producer. I was like, man, who's that? First of all, he's killing. But I was like, wow. I was like, I can hear this song. It's big. It's like a big song. You know when you hear a song and it's like, all right, but you hear like a Disney song or something like that, you're like, this is amazing.
Mhm.
Um, that's how I felt about No Shame. Um, and then listen to just to the lyrics of it alone, it's like everyone can relate to that. At some point in your life, you felt shame. You felt shame, but you know, it's behind you. The past, everything is behind you.
Yeah.
There's no need to feel ashamed about any of that. Like, there's no need for any of that. So that was really one of my favorites. And then, I got a call just to want to put it out. She wanted to put it out, and she needed some help. I said, really? I know she mentioned we played it live. I want to say it was. I don't even think that's it's not a restaurant anymore. What's the downtown?
We talking about Big Easy or
Big
Warm
Easy.
Daddies?
Big
Mhm.
Easy. Did we do
Mhm.
it at Big Easy? We did it at
Yes.
Big Easy once, right?
Yes.
And it was she gave us it was just piano and vocal, but at that time we had a band, a full band, and wanted to incorporate how we can make this bigger with the band. Um, and like after that night, I was like, oh, we need to do this like as a record. Like it would be incredible as a record. And thankfully, she thought the same thing. It might not have been that night, but I know she did call me back later and was like, "Okay, I'm ready to put this out."
Yeah.
Um, and I was just blessed to be a part of it. I was grateful that she even thought enough of me to want to have her vision given to the world. Um, but I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot. Even praise, the one of the first songs I heard before I was even playing with you. You would sing it out. You would sing it out with the track and everything. I've heard it like a
Which
couple times
version?
before.
Which,
The
Oh,
live
the
version.
early,
The
the
early,
early
well,
one.
the early. I
Yeah, the
heard the
one with.
early one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the early one. So I love that. And then when like live, one thing I'm gonna shout out Ron King because he's incredible. He's one of
Talk
my
about it.
favorites. Ron
Yeah. Oh
King,
my gosh.
he's incredible. Like gifted and anointed
And
mhm.
and
oily.
completely like drenching. So I
Yes.
love that guy, man. Ron King is great. Um, I think it was a great like partnership. It was a great marriage with like what you bring and what he brings to the table.
Yeah, it was.
I think
Mhm.
it was needed.
Mhm.
And I could be like, no, why do you have me produce it? Like you need what it fits best for
Yeah.
this particular thing. I'm not like married to anything. If it's something where it works better without me, or if God can bring together those two, like I said, make the perfect marriage. I don't care. I want that to be put out so everyone can hear it at its best. And then I might not be
Yeah.
its best, so I'm cool with it. But I love the album though. I was excited when I heard it. And I was hearing those files. I was like, man, this is incredible. I wish I would have been there, but I'm grateful.
We're gonna get that right the next time.
Don't
But
worry about it. Hey,
hands
it's another
down,
thing.
no, there's more.
Yeah,
There's more to be had.
no. Absolutely, absolutely,
Yeah.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Well, this is awesome. I'm so thank you so much, Brian, for
Mm.
your input. I love hearing about high school Nikki. Gave us some more background on her.
Oh goodness.
Uh,
No.
and so, um, Nikki, do you have anything to share before you close us out?
I don't. I
Mm.
don't. I don't. I mean, I'm grateful we're here.
Mm.
If you don't have the project, like do that thing. And
Yes.
if you are local, like when I say that, this is not like I hate promoting. I
Mm-hmm.
also hate marketing. Can
Mm.
somebody on here like chime in on that? I do not. I'm not a big fan of it. But what I do love
Hmm.
is being able to bring everybody to the table.
Mm-hmm.
Like I really, really do. And so I just feel like if you're local, um, come and get your portion because
Mm.
I believe that like the like coming together
Mm-hmm.
again, I said this the other night, like the exchange is really kind of my thing because I don't believe that we're meant to come and just be spectators. I don't
Yeah.
believe that we're meant to just come and just hear some good singing. But
Yeah.
my desire is that people would leave full.
Yeah.
And so come to the table, come
Mm-hmm.
through. That's all I got. That's
What
all I got.
what can we expect on Saturday?
Um, the unexpected. No, so I mean, great music, and I really, an unscripted experience. Honestly, like I do not.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know. That's not how I get down. Like you want me to sing to a track? Oh, God bless you. Okay, we gonna see how this go. All right, cut the track. Cut the track. Cut the track.
Good.
Because I just want to go where God is leading,
Right.
right? And sometimes the people in the room pull on that very differently. And so I
Yeah.
really, yeah, it is. That's what makes it a part of the exchange
Yeah.
as well. Because
Yeah.
whoever is there is gonna need something
Mm-hmm.
different than the next person. And so,
Absolutely.
yeah, it's gonna be a night. That's all. It's gonna be full celebration mode. And probably a lot of welling from me. I'll be
Mm-hmm.
honest. Listen here. Face got to stay on, but if it don't, get the pictures in advance. That's all I say. That's what you do.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I will say, at the concert you had back in July for the single release Wonderland, My personal experience, like I remember a couple of days before the team got together and we were getting prepared for the night, and I had told you guys that, like, man, I can't sing anymore. Ever since I had the baby, like my notes, like, or at least I couldn't sing. I'm a soprano, so I couldn't hit those notes. It would just like stop, and then my throat would just close up, and I'm like, what is going on? I remember even your sister was saying, because she wanted me to sing background for her somewhere. I was like, sis, I can't help you. She's like, oh, I had another background singer, same thing. After we had children, for whatever reason, couldn't reach those notes. But the night that I went to that release concert, I was healed. And and there are other people who have, I won't give their testimony, that night that things were loosened, things were shaken. So it is not just singing, it is ministry, and it will change the atmosphere. It changes the spiritual climate. It equips you for what we've been talking about is purpose and time. You will get whatever you need that night. We don't know what that is, but whatever you need that night, I believe it that you will get it. And because the atmosphere is going to be ripe for that. So please come out Saturday, November 18th at 5:30 p.m. See more information. I look so forward to hearing you. Nikki, close us out.
Yeah. Quiet noise, be still my soul. Quiet noise, you are in control. Quiet noise, be still my soul. Quiet noise, you are in control. I'm gonna leave it there for the night.
If you want more, you're going to have to come on Saturday, guys.
Come early.
Come on.
Come early.
All right.
Thank
Thank you, guys.
Thank
Have a
you.
good night.
you, B.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. Good night.